This girl with the bass guitar. Is that her? And hold right there. And
I think that Carter and Craig are actual like narrative geniuses. Like they're geniuses at withholding information until it's time for that information to come forward, at which point it changes everything. Craig joked today when we were shooting, he said, this episode is like seasons 10 through season 30.
Craig told me, I think Allison and I found out at the same time.
Craig realized that the only two cast members he hadn't told were Jason and myself, so.
And he gave us the 5-minute version, by the end of which his lip was quivering and he was like getting ready to cry. And we felt the same. It was just such a relief to find out that there was a plan, you know, that there really was something in place this whole time. It's pretty amazing.
I think that the finale of the show is kind of everything. There's some like super sad parts, but then there are these really funny moments, and I'm really excited because I've been fans of other shows that have just kind of wrapped it, and you're like, what happened to that person? Like, where did that person go? And they don't end it in the future. And the shows that did, I was always really excited about that because you get to like hold on to these characters for a little bit longer. You get to like see them through to the end. So I'm really excited that we got to flash forward and just see where these people ended up.
That's it. That's the end. That's how it ends.
I never wanted to know anything about the future of the show. I really, truly didn't, because we keep getting interviewed for 9 years, all the time, about when are we going to meet the mother, do you have any spoilers, and so I just rather not know. But it seemed like once we got to the end game, I needed to know some things to sort of just not have the audience be surprised by my performance going suddenly left turn. So I, at our Christmas party this year, asked Carter and Craig to talk for a minute. And they said, okay, you want to know? You really want to know? And they were kind of excited. It was fun that they were together. And they told me everything. They told me the whole shebang, every little secret. That Barney and Robin get divorced.
Is this just not working anymore?
Wait, what? This?
That Barney ends up single. I'm never gonna be the guy who meets a girl, and from the moment I see her, I'm just like, you are the love of my life. Everything I have and everything I am is yours forever. That he ends up getting someone pregnant, that he ends up having a daughter, and that daughter is the woman that changes his life. You are the love of my life. Everything I have and everything I am is yours. Forever. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect any of that. I expected the whole story to be Ted and mother-centric. And so when I realized that Barney had a very kind of operatic conclusion, I was ecstatic. Shots before lunch on a Thursday? It's like you're trying to make bad decisions. You young ladies need to go home, put on some decent clothes, and take a good hard look at yourselves.
And you start to cross out?
It's the perfect ending for his jackassery, because it doesn't force Barney to change who he is as a sexual Lothario, but it changes his internal being as to how he can sexualize women when he has a baby girl.
Little announcement for everybody. I'm going to be running for state Supreme Court. Yeah, so if everything goes well in a couple months, you won't be calling me Judge Fudge anymore. You'll be calling me Fudge Supreme. I think that's been Marshall's real main journey. One has been about his sort of burgeoning law career coming into fruition, and then the other has been, and I think the important one, has been about this relationship with Lily.
She started off getting proposed to and cork in her eye. And yeah, now she's a mom and a wife.
I vow to cry less during this pregnancy.
I vow to cry less during this Viking season.
That's secondary. I wouldn't make that promise.
I vow to keep at least 80% of these vows. And sort of learning that loving someone is truly unconditional, and there will be ups and downs, and it's about loving someone through that.
Do you know who the gang is to me, Lily? Here's what the gang is. The gang is a married couple who I never see anymore, about to have their third kid. It's my ex-husband hitting on slutty cops right in front of me. And it's the guy I probably should have ended up with the beautiful mother of his child. I mean, who in their right mind would call that group of people the gang? Robin's journey has been a twisty, winding road. You know, like, people take, like, the most beaten path. Robin does not. If I gave you an out right now, there was an exit ramp right here at the 3-year mark. Would you take it? Robin and Barney have it's been so fun. And they really have such passion. And they really love each other. And the way that we're ending the series is pretty amazing. And I love it because I feel like it's so true to life.
One of the things I think about the universe, and I think that this show is really wonderfully emblematic of, is that you tend to get everything you want on some level, just not necessarily on your timeline.
Who is this person?
The bass player from the wedding band.
Oh, yeah, she's great. Right?
Ted starts at, like, 27 when the show starts, and he just decides that it's time for him to meet his wife. And it just doesn't happen the way he thinks it's going to happen. But I think the real lesson of the show is, one of the many lessons, is that he had so much more growing up to do. He had so much more heartache. You know, he had to grow into the man he was going to be before he was ready for her.
Excuse me, hi.
I think Kristen's character represents finding your match in one way, which is he's looking for someone he can feel at home with. And everyone else was, like, kind of right, but not quite right. And when he meets her, there's so many things that line up in terms of interest. And I think, and you see in those scenes, there's a different Ted kind of energetically. He's relaxed in a different way. We did a table read of an episode where Kristen was in it, and it sounded like she was going to die. And I was like, what is happening? So I cornered Craig after that table read, and I said, what is going on? Is she dying? And Craig was like, do you want to know? And I said, I think I do. And so it was like in this corner above lukewarm pizza, Craig laid out the rest of the season for me, and I bawled and had to leave the room. But yeah, because it was so beautiful. They told me first season about the mother, about what happens to the mother, and about that the kids say, you know, you're in love with Robin. I think at the end of 8th season, we started talking about it, and I said, are you guys still planning to go with plan A? And they said, yeah, we think that's how it's going to go. The way that we end our series, just like the tie back to how we began our series, is cinematically so beautiful. At the same time, I think it's like Robin and Ted are two characters that they loved each other. They really did. And I think that for them, it really, their main problem was timing. I think that part of their youthful restlessness, especially Robin's, wouldn't allow her to be with Ted at that point. And so I feel like them ending the season on the timing finally being right for these two people to be together, no matter what came before. They actually have always been meant for each other on some level, but it took some time. They had to live some life. What, I just call her up on the phone and ask her out on a date? The timing is just right for the two of them to finally be together. All right. I'm calling her.
Do it.
I am.
Call her.
I'm calling her. I don't know by the time people are watching this. I don't know what the response will be. I'm sure there will be people who are going to be delighted and in love with the ending. I think there will be people who were up in arms and really upset by it. But Carter said something that I thought was great, you know, that How I Met Your Mother's never shied away from real life things, you know, Marshall's dad, Robin's infertility, Ted's heartache. There's just things that we've never been afraid to confront, and I feel this show's always been a mix of funny, sad. The final episode is exactly that. It's kind of every tone and color that How I Met Your Mother hits is contained in the final episode, I think.
Hey, you kids.
Yeah, you didn't sound 1,000 there.
Do you have any idea what happened right here at this very bar?
No. What happened?
Just all kinds of stuff.